Welcome to Come Study with Me. Today, we continue in the book of Ruth. The Lord has already begun to reveal His kindness. But the work of redemption is still unfolding step by step. What began in sorrow is now moving toward covenant fulfillment. Ruth has found grace in the field. Now she will step closer to the Redeemer Himself. This chapter shows how faith moves forward when the way is still uncertain. Naomi begins to seek rest for Ruth. She desires something more than survival for her. She desires security, belonging, and covenant protection. She understands that Boaz is not simply a kind man. He is a near kinsman with the right to redeem. Under the law, he has a place in the Lord's plan for restoration. Naomi now begins to act with that understanding. She gives careful instruction to Ruth. Every step is intentional. Every detail matters. Ruth is to prepare herself to wash, to anoint, and to put on her raiment. This is not about outward appearance. This is about inward readiness and spiritual preparation. She is stepping into a moment that carries covenant meaning. Ruth responds with simple obedience. She does not question or resist. She does not try to control the outcome. She simply says she will do all that Naomi has instructed. This is the quiet strength of faith, trusting the Lord enough to move forward without seeing the full picture. She goes down to the threshing floor. This place is not random. It is where grain is separated from chaff, where what has weight remains and what is empty is carried away. It is a place of quiet labor and hidden process. And it becomes the setting for a sacred turning point. Boaz finishes his work and lies down in peace. The day's labor is complete. The field is quiet. And in that quiet moment, Ruth approaches carefully. She uncovers his feet and lays down, not in boldness or demand, but in humility and trust. At midnight, Boaz wakes and is startled. He turns and asks who is there. Ruth answers with both identity and request. She calls herself his handmaid and asks him to cover her, because he is a near kinsman. This is covenant language. She is asking to be brought under his protection, to be claimed and restored, to be included in a relationship of belonging. This moment reflects the way every soul approaches the Redeemer, with humility, with trust, and with a desire for mercy. Boaz responds with honor and kindness. He recognizes her virtue and her faithfulness. He sees that she has chosen covenant over comfort. He blesses her and speaks with assurance. Yet he also honors the law completely. There is another kinsman closer than he, and the matter must be handled in order. Boaz makes a clear promise. If the nearer kinsman will not redeem, then he will do it. This is the voice of a willing Redeemer, one who is both able and ready to act. He sends Ruth away with provision, giving her evidence that the process has already begun. She does not leave empty. When Naomi sees what Ruth brings, she understands immediately. She knows that the matter will not remain unfinished. The Redeemer will act and complete what has been started. This chapter teaches that humility invites redemption, and that a faithful Redeemer does not begin a work and then abandon it. The story now moves to the gate of the city. This is where decisions are made openly, where witnesses gather, where matters of law are settled in the sight of others. Nothing here is hidden. Everything is brought into the light. Boaz takes his place at the gate. He does not delay. He does not hesitate. He understands that redemption must be handled correctly. and that it must be completed in order. The nearer kinsman passes by. Boaz calls him to sit down. He gathers witnesses. Elders of the city are brought forward. The process begins. Boaz presents the matter carefully. Naomi has land to redeem. The right belongs first to the nearer kinsman. At first, the man agrees. He is willing when the cost seems simple. But then Boaz reveals the full requirement. Ruth is part of the redemption. To redeem the land is also to take responsibility for her. To raise up a name. To restore what was lost completely. The man hesitates. He considers the cost more deeply. And then he steps back. He releases his claim. The law allows redemption, but it does not force it. Each man must choose. Each man must decide what he is willing to give. This moment reveals something important. Not everyone who can redeem will choose to do so. Some step back when the cost becomes clear. Boaz does not step back. He steps forward. He declares his intent before the witnesses. He will redeem the land. He will take Ruth. He will restore the inheritance. He will fulfill the law completely. This is covenant action. Public. Binding. Complete. The witnesses respond. They confirm what has been spoken. They pronounce blessings. They speak of a house being built, of a legacy continuing, of strength and remembrance among the people. This is more than a legal agreement. It is a covenant moment. Ruth is brought fully into the covenant. She is no longer outside. She is no longer a stranger. She belongs. The Lord gives her a son. Naomi receives new life in place of loss. What began in emptiness is now filled. The women of the city speak. They recognize the hand of the Lord. They declare that Naomi is no longer empty, that she has been restored. The child is named Obed. He becomes part of a greater story, a line that continues forward. Obed becomes the father of Jesse. Jesse becomes the father of David. And from this line comes Jesus Christ. This is the true meaning of redemption in this story. It is not only about one family. It is about the Lord's eternal plan unfolding. A Redeemer steps forward. He fulfills the law. He restores what was lost. And he brings life where there was emptiness. This points directly to Christ, the greater Redeemer, who redeems fully, who redeems completely, and who never leaves the work unfinished.